Hello, everyone, and welcome back to episode 3 of the podcast where we just talk about some random stuff, normally relating to Smash Bros. In some capacity, usually about Melee. But today that's not going to be fully what we're talking about. A lot of the stuff we're going to be talking about isn't, actually too much that's going on in Melee currently. Just for today. I don't want that to draw you away from this video. Still gonna be a pretty great video. Very long one. Let me know how you all enjoy the length. I posted one that was about 20 minutes. I posted one that's about 10 minutes, and so this one is supposed to be about 25. I'm thinking if I were to do something similar to this length, it would be about 30. And I just kind of want to see how each of them do, go back through and listen to them, and see how I like the lengths of each one. So it's been a long time since I've last recorded one of these, since before Smash and Splash. So some of my information might not be fully right, but I'll try to give you the best information that I got. It's been a while. So Smash and Splash was actually really exciting in the tournament placements. You had PewFat winning doubles, which I felt was kind of to be expected. I was excited that a team like Mango Mewtwo King or Armada Android didn't make it, but I was really excited to see PewFat win it. So that was a very small part of it, and I'm mainly going to be covering top 8, which had, in the winner's side, Lieutenant Armada, and then Mewtwo King, H-Box. And then in the loser's side, you had Zane versus Mango, and PPU versus S2J. And I felt like those were kind of to be expected. I didn't actually get to see much of the top 8 live. It actually did get delayed a little bit, and I had something going on really early the next day, so I needed to make sure that I was prepared and ready for that, so I didn't really get to watch too much of top 8, but I did go back through and watch some, and it did feel like Zane had a pretty dominant win over Mango. I was really happy that Armada won the tournament. There's not too much that needs to be said. Mostly everything else went kind of as expected. The S2J Mewtwo King set was kind of great. And yeah, not much else other than that. There's not much I want to cover about Optic Arena, but there is just a slight bit, which was the Wizzrobe. That Wizzrobe took 2 sets back to back off of H-Box and won the tournament. And that was pretty crazy to see. Again, I didn't follow this tournament too much. I was really busy throughout that time, which is why you also haven't seen a podcast for a little bit. But I also just saw a tweet that said Bananas, the IC's player from Texas, just got 4th. So I'm going to go ahead, a little bit unprepared, but I'm going to go ahead and look that up now and see if there's anything else that was pretty, that big there. But other than that, that's about all I wanted to cover there. Yeah, so it was in Texas, and so I feel like, yeah, so Bananas did get 4th. Place over S2J, Swedish Delight, Nun, Magi, Gatsu are just some of the notable ones that I can name off. Absent Page did really well that tournament too, so that's really exciting to see. I hope we can see more standout performances from Wizzrobe like that, and some other stuff going on there. So I just want to briefly talk about a tweet that came out from Mr. Wizard, I believe is his name, or what he goes by. If you don't know who Mr. Wizard is, he runs the Evolution fighting game tournament, and he mentioned that he would he didn't really want to have Melee. He just wanted to have Smash 4 and Smash Ultimate. And from what I heard on Twitter and stuff like that, this is just Mr. Wizard kind of trolling. And then he said, I think it all started because Smash Ultimate news was coming out. And then he said, some of this stuff looks really cool, but the community will probably like get rid of half of it from the competitive rule set. And that can be its own separate video, but there's quite a few things that a competitive fighting game needs to be competitive and for people to go out and put money on the line for this kind of stuff. And so then he also mentioned that we always complain about not really having 3 out of 5s. And I can kind of understand this to a degree. I feel like every game would want 3 out of 5s, and I mean, I really would love to see it for Melee, but if it didn't happen, I don't think it's the absolute end of the world. I think it would suck, and maybe some other tournaments could take over EVO's quote-unquote throne of the big like gaming tournament or the big fighting game tournament for Smash. Some examples would be like Genesis 6, SmashCon, Shine, other like pretty big tournaments like that could take over that role. But I also think it's not necessarily like completely needed as well. I don't know. That was just a short little point I had. Felt like it was kind of important, but not too like completely important. It was something like fairly small. So then the next news I want to talk about is Smash Brothers Ultimate. It's the newest Smash game. It was revealed a little while ago in a March Direct, and we had just been speculating pretty much everything up until now. The only thing they showed us was the Smash logo, some shadowy figures standing in front of it, the Inkling from Splatoon, Mario, and Zelda, and Link. And then from there, we were just left to guess. And so, oh gosh, brain fart. I really like this game. It looks really cool. From the gameplay I've seen of it, from the Smash Invitational, from people's personal postings of it, from the Nintendo Treehouse, and other stuff like that, I think this is going to be a really good game. I think there are some things that could be fixed up. I would love to see maybe like 1 or 2 more characters added. I'm pretty sure I saw a tweet by Nintendo Versus, which is kind of like the pretty much like the Nintendo's like tournament Twitter account. Like they update you on like tournaments, usually the ones that they like sponsor and stuff like that. They have some stuff for Splatoon. They have some stuff for like Smash, ARMS, stuff like that. And they mentioned that there was 1 more character, and they kind of teased that it was going to be announced at the Invitational, even though it wasn't. And so I'm kind of excited to see what that character is. They added directional wave dashing, or not wave dashing, oh my gosh. They added directional air dodging, which is what leads into wave dashing, as you'll probably see here shortly. Yeah, so it's a short hop into a directional air dodge into the ground, and it gives you momentum. And you can do that in Smash Bros. Ultimate, but it doesn't really work that well since there's quite a bit more lag on the on if you air dodge into the ground. I kind of wish that was taken away, and there was also a like punish for rolling thing. And I understand like why those are there, but I really would love to see wave dashing come back in some form. I know that's not what Melee is all about. It's also about the airspeed, but I feel like having 1 more movement option is actually decent. Post by Practical Tasks also mentioned about continuing the momentum in the air, and I think it got a little bit better from Smash 4 to Smash Ultimate, but not absolutely amazing. Still, I don't know. I'm really excited for this game. I think it will probably be my main focus for a while. I will still play Melee, probably pretty much a lot, but I feel like it would be like the second game that I'd play. Like if I were to go to a tournament and enter 2 events, it would be Melee and Ultimate, and that would take over the Rivals of Aether spot that's currently there. I feel like I'd still play Rivals of Aether pretty heavily, but I feel like Smash Ultimate might just be that good. I don't know. I guess I'm still just speculating, and I'll have to see when the release comes out. Sakurai said there were still many bugs with the game that he wanted to fix, and he even saw some during the Invitational, and so that's really exciting to see what's going to happen, how the game's going to change between the demos and the release. I know it's CEO, I don't think it's this weekend, I think it's next weekend, in Florida. They'll have, I think Nintendo's like kind of sponsoring the event maybe, and I think they said that they'd have a booth there with Smash Ultimate, so it's going to be exciting to see if anything has changed slightly. I just saw a video that said maybe the final destination might change up a little bit. Maybe they'd add a different stage layout, different background, stuff like that. And I think that would be really exciting to see too, because one thing that I didn't like completely about it was it seemed that in every game, Final Destination and Battlefield had different like stage, like a different stage and different like backgrounds. And I feel like that should be implemented in Ultimate too. But yeah, that's about all I have to cover for Smash Ultimate. I'm really excited for that game. We'll just see how it plays out and how it is, I guess. So the other thing I wanted to talk about that was kind of announced during E3 is everybody else's press conference. So I guess I'll just kind of go down the list and talk about which ones I'm kind of excited for, which ones I'm meh on, and like all of that, what I thought about each press conference. So there's a Nintendo YouTuber, or I call him a Nintendo YouTuber. He focuses mainly on Nintendo consoles and games and properties and stuff like that. But he also does do some other like brand games. If it's on the Nintendo Switch, generally he does it, and that is Arlo. He actually had a pretty good point, which was that E3 wasn't absolutely like okay across the board. It was either the press conference was absolutely amazing or the press conference was not so good. There might have been some games announced that were good, but not absolutely everything was absolutely amazing. So the first one was EA's. I'm not that big of a fan of EA. They teased a new Star Wars game, which looks like it might be kind of good. I watched a little bit of Anthem, but didn't watch too much of the E3 press conferences from EA, and so I'm kind of meh on that one. And then there was Microsoft's E3 press conference. I feel like this is one of the best ones that they had for a while. They mentioned that they're currently working on the next generation of consoles. They had a ton of great new games to show. Overall, I feel like this is one of the better press conferences of the event. Maybe the best, maybe second. It all kind of depends as to where your views are on each person's or each company's press conference. Then we had Bethesda. They announced, I think I heard, I didn't watch all of them, and some of them I watched parts of and not the entire thing. They announced the Elder Scrolls 6, teased it really, Doom Eternal, They showed a little bit of Fallout 76. They showed one game. I don't remember exactly what it was. It was about, like, I think it was called, like, Rage 2 or something like that. I wasn't that big of a fan of it, but it looked really good. And so I'm very excited to see what's going to be happening from Bethesda there. They announced, like, a Skyrim mod was getting, like, a new, like, place, so, like, a new setting, but they were basically putting the full story, and, like, they talked to the person, and they're making it, like, an actual game, which seems like it'll be really cool. So I'm kind of excited for that. I'm not really that big into Skyrim, but I kind of, like, watch a little bit of it, and it's one game that I've been looking to play. I've heard really good things about it, so that would be pretty cool to play. And I haven't heard much about the mod. I just started learning about it a little bit yesterday, and apparently it has won some, like, awards and stuff like that. So maybe that would be, like, a good place to start. I don't know. I'm really excited about that. Square Enix's press conference. Not gonna lie, they announced nothing that wasn't already shown. Kingdom Hearts 3 looks like it'll be pretty cool. Looks like it'll be good, but they showed the exact same trailer as at the Microsoft one, so I feel like that one was kind of iffy. Ubisoft, I have not really watched the press conference. It's quite a bit of, like, a time commitment for me to just go ahead and watch, like, a hour and 30-minute video. But I did kind of see some of what they announced, and it looks pretty good. The fact that they had Fox in one of the games seems pretty cool to me. It's nice to know that I'll have something on Nintendo Switch. I really kind of wish that the Star Fox racing game that they teased was true, but I guess you can't have absolutely everything. Mario plus Rabbids Kingdom Battle DLC looks good. I normally just get the game and don't buy much of the DLC. I think that's going to be the same case there, but I don't know. It looked pretty good. Sony's, I don't really play. I don't really pay too much attention to Sony. I feel like they're a good company. I feel like they have some really good exclusive stuff like that. But I heard that this year was just kind of bad with the E3 press conference, so I didn't really bother too much watching it. So the last one is Nintendo's E3 press conference, and, like, the 10 minutes they had that were in Smash Bros. I love it because I'm a Smash Bros. Fan, and you get to see a whole ton of Smash Bros. But I definitely feel like they could have cut down the Smash Bros. A little bit to talk about the some of their future games, maybe even a little bit into early 2019, maybe some more about 2018. I know Reggie said in an interview that they still have some surprises and stuff like that coming for this year. So I'm really excited to see what they bring, because they talked a little bit more about Fire Emblem and delayed it. And they announced, like, Super Mario Party, and I think that's about it. Hold on. Yeah, but yeah. I don't really know. I really liked it. It was pretty cool. But I don't know. Oh, they announced and dropped Fortnite that day. That was pretty much leaked before, as well as Overcooked 2, Dragon Ball Fighter Z. That's actually one that I'm really excited about. And then there's just some other games that look like they'll be pretty good, but I might not pick them up. I don't know. Just see. Yeah, I really wish there was a little bit more out of the press conference, but the stuff they announced for Smash was so cool. I don't really want to spoil anything for anyone, and I feel like I didn't have the same reaction as everyone else. So, I went back and played some of the games, but I don't feel like I have the same nostalgic ties to all the characters that everyone else does. When they took a lot of characters out of Brawl, I knew that they removed some of the characters, but I wasn't, like, really attached to those characters or really knew that they existed much at all at the time until I went back and played Brawl. It'll be nice to have a new group of characters, some more third-party characters. Pokemon Trainer looks really good, and I'm really excited to see what that brings. But yeah, that's about it for E3 and SmUsh. One point I want to cover just pretty briefly, and then I'll go ahead and mention some stuff about me as a player right now, the future of the channel, again, stuff like that, and link my stuff. So, there was some stuff going on with Zero and SonicFox, and I feel like SonicFox kind of cracked a joke, and then Zero maybe took it a little bit too far, and I feel like SonicFox could have stopped, but he didn't really, and then they just kind of got after each other. I'm really excited to kind of see if they are really doing a 1st to 10. I'm really excited to see that because I'm fairly sure that Zero would win. I feel like if they announced like a new 2D fighting game, I feel like Sonic and they decided to play each other after 3 months. I feel like SonicFox would be quite a bit better at it since he has that same experience with things like Injustice 2 and Dragon Ball Fighters and stuff like that. But I feel like since this is SmUsh and Zero has had a long history and knows quite a bit about the game and stuff like that, with him having played Brawl and be pretty good at that, with him being the SmUsh 4 like uncontested king for a while, and then him also having a decent background in Melee and going back through and playing that after his retirement for a little bit. I think that Zero does have the upper hand here, but I will be really excited to see how that will all play out. So, right now, I'm planning to do the same thing as I have been doing, about a podcast upload a week. There might be some weeks where I'll have to take off, or where I'll do like very limited, like shorter ones, or like have them come out decently further apart. But I will still try to make one video a week. That is my goal. You've probably seen me play a variety of characters right now, but I think I am now down to 2 characters, which will be Jigglypuff and Falco. So if you want to see some more of that gameplay very poorly, come here. I'm planning to enter a couple of more tournaments, maybe not absolutely major tournaments. They may just be local. I might try to enter like one more major. I'm really excited that they announced SmUsh and Splash 5. I really want to go to that. Other than that, that's, I'd say, about it for what I got today. This was a little bit of a longer one, so let me know if you enjoyed that. I'll have my Twitter down there. You'll have my YouTube because you're probably on it, so if you want to like and subscribe and do stuff like that, you can. I might start streaming on Twitch a little bit, so I'll also leave that in the description. Hope you all come back next week for the next episode. I hope you enjoyed this podcast, and remember, keep listening.